Hey, what's up, guys? So finally, I'm here at the studio, and our guest is. Hey! Thank you for coming to my podcast.
It is a pleasure. I am honored to be your guest.
I'm honored too. Or what do I say? I don't know what to say.
It sounded like a dinner party. I'm honored to be
Yeah,
your
like,
guest.
pass the champagne, darling. Yeah, like some popular person we know, but we won't name
We will not do shameless names.
So, thank you for coming to my podcast.
Yeah, it's awesome.
My podcast is about filmmaking, film, TV. I like to talk to different individuals that are creatives and people that are working in the TV industry because I want to share knowledge. I believe like everyone has a unique story, and I feel like there wasn't a platform for something like this in SA, and I was like, yo, we're making a podcast. It's happening. It's episode 7. So here we are.
Here we are.
Cool. So a little background. Me and Navina are friends, and we also work together.
That's
And
great.
we work in the TV industry, and she is a promo director. She's the team leader at our workplace, which is Monarchy. And yeah, so what does a promo director do?
So, I mean, it's kind of like an all-rounder. We do everything from, coming up with a concept and, writing a script. And then from there, we, depending on whether this idea is approved or not, you go to the next step.
Yes. Yes.
And then you edit in line with whatever your concept was. And then from there, you go into the design, graphics phase. These are actually my favorite phases where you don't really have to do much. You just pass on to somebody else,
Yes.
And then final mix. And then
Yes.
after that, final delivery as well. But yeah, it's a lot of work and it's very challenging, but that's what I enjoy the most about it, is that you get a brief that you can, interpret however you want.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Which is really nice. And I feel like with a lot of jobs, like for example, if you're an accountant, you pretty much probably look at the same things every day, And
You're a number cruncher.
you know what I mean?
We say it with love, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, TV is also very demanding. That's the thing. I think people forget that. They take it for
High
granted.
pressure.
Like, that's the
High
thing.
pressure.
People, whenever you say you're in TV, people are like, "Oh, that's so cool.
Yes.
It's so fun."
Yeah.
And,
Like, oh, you're so
different.
lucky.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, when you work in TV, they forget that it's very stressful because it's very like it's a lot of quick turnovers, and and also to come up with ideas all the time.
Yeah.
Out of nothing. It's like
It's crazy.
I feel like we're magicians, like like we always have to like think of a new way. It's like, what do you do when you've worked on Grey's Anatomy and then it's like on season 35 or whatever that show's on?
Yes. Yeah.
And then it's like, well, how do you promote that now? You know what I mean? So it's very
and you have to
challenging.
do it in a brand new way.
That's engaging. That's the thing.
Yeah. I was thinking like today. I was also trying to define what the promo director does, and I realized we do like multiple jobs.
Yeah.
Like we're not doing like one thing. It sounds like one thing but we're not, because we are copywriting, which is a specific job. Some agencies just have copywriters that just write copy, and we are editing. Which is very technical and very specific, and then we're also directing. In terms of when we are working with a voiceover artist or thinking about the feel of a promo. Like, for instance, obviously, when you make a horror movie promo versus a promo for Real Housewives of Atlanta, it's not the same. It's not the same tone.
I mean, yeah, unless you cut Real Houses like a horror. Because that's
Yeah.
pretty much what it is.
I mean, I guess you could.
Okay, it's pretty much
The
a
horror of Atlanta. Yeah.
That's pretty much what that show is to me. It's a horror.
Yeah, it's
They are for each other's blood.
And we've done so many of them. It's like,
Yeah.
they never stop. But hey, it's got a market, so hey, it's making money. So tell me, like, I don't really know. I've never asked you, but like, how did you end up being a promo director. Obviously, you studied film, right?
Yes, that's correct. So when I actually wanted to do journalism when I finished school. That was what I really wanted to do. Well, I really loved writing. Writing was my thing. And I was like, wow, I'd really be good at journalism. And that's just something that I was really interested in doing. And then I went for an open day at UJ. And then I was at, I was like, I got the journalism brochures and stuff like that. And then opposite journalism was audiovisual production management. And they had like all these like visuals and screens. And I loved movies a lot.
Yeah.
And I walked there and I was like, hey, what's this? And they told me, it's like, if you're really interested in TV and media, then this is the thing for you. So I was like, because I didn't even know you could do that for a living, you know? And then, and then I was like, okay, cool. I told my parents I'm going to enroll for this. Because I actually, my plan was to actually do music. I actually wanted to study music when I finished school.
Oh, wow, okay. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my parents were like, no, you'll never make a living out of music. What are you going to do? Be a music teacher? Or are you going to stand on the side of the road if I had to, Because they're like, it's not something that you could make money out of. And then they were funny.
All parents are like that.
Funny enough, okay with me going into TV though, / media.
Yeah.
So and then my mom was like, if you want to do music, you can by all means do it once you've studied. Do it in your own.
That's also like one of the biggest problems with like parents is because like when I wanted to study filmmaking, I fought my family. Like I was like, I have to do this. Like this is. And they were like, no, because obviously they didn't know like that you could get a job because, you don't have access to those people. And most of these companies are here in Joburg or specifically Randburg. They're not like in the East Rand or, you never see people that work in TV.
Yeah, it's
unless
so
you
true.
see them on TV.
That is so true,
And it was like, yo, dude, you're going to be like broke. You can't work in TV. And it's funny that now I'm working in TV and it's like, oh, okay, that's possible. It's
so true actually because like before I started working in this industry, I actually didn't know many people that were behind the scenes.
I didn't even know the schools. Like I didn't even know about AFDA until some girl knew that I like movies. She's like, you should go to AFDA. And I was like, what is AFDA? I didn't know. I was like, I had no clue. I guess because I was still in high school, but but I had no clue whatsoever.
Like I didn't know that this was something you could study as well, and get a degree. I didn't know that at all either. Until I did it myself. And then it's weird because I still didn't really have a plan because I think, when you're young, like, oh, I want to be like Steven Spielberg. That's like, that's the thing. And it seems like such a realistic dream as well at the time because you're like, oh yeah, I'm studying this, and they're like, oh, what do you want to be? A director. I want to, and it's like, at the time, you don't realize how difficult that is to do, like how hard it is to actually be a director. And I feel like when you do study that though, everybody finds the thing that they're good at from there.
Because you have an idea in your head, like, I want to be a director, until you find out, oh, this is what directors do.
Yes.
And funny enough, I wanted to be an actor, dude.
Oh, really?
I was like looking up to Will Smith. I was like, I'm going to be an actor. Until then, like, I went to film school and I realized, oh my God, they do the same 10 times. I can't do that. And I was like, no, that's not like, obviously as you find out, you're like, oh, this is what I kind of like feel like doing. I know, I have a few friends that went to UJ. Did you guys study everything like in terms of all the disciplines and stuff when you were there?
So we, like in my first year, it was weird because I was doing audiovisual, but it was odd. You didn't really do that much. It was a lot of theory I felt in the beginning, and the practical sort of came later on. And I feel like you never really got to do like one thing for a while. Like, so like you do a little bit of editing, you do a little bit of camera, but you'd never do it long enough for you to be like, camera is my thing, editing is my thing, and that was sort of the problem that I had with studying, because I felt it was more theoretical and once you got out into the real world, it was like, oh my god, this is actually what it's about, and you
Yeah.
like get thrown into it, you know. So I don't know. This is gonna sound terrible, but but I'm gonna say this, like, I don't know if studying really helped me. You know, sure, it gave me like, oh yeah, I've learned about Sergei Eisenstein or something like that.
When the camera was invented, but
you
you're not
know,
using that knowledge.
That's the thing.
No,
so-
it's one of the things that I say here with the always talk about with the guests, like film school or no film school, because like now when you think about it, it's like, shit, man, I wish my parents gave me all that money for varsity, like got me a laptop and a camera and all these things, and then and they would actually even save, and then I would just watch YouTube and shoot shit and just learn to do stuff. Because that, like, right now, I think you can learn so much online. And when you think about, I mean, I'm sorry to bash film schools and stuff and people with degrees. Like, sometimes it doesn't really, also sometimes it doesn't really matter when you're applying for a job, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause I didn't graduate, but I got a job either way. And they were like, yo, you still start at the bottom, you know? And then there'll be people coming after me. With like a master's degree in like filmmaking, and they would still start at the bottom, and it was like, oh, okay.
That is true, actually. You're
It's
right.
sad, but it's like, it's sad that you only realize later, like, oh man, I should have just like shot stuff, you know, or just like taught myself, because you actually can, you know, because like, I mean, as much as yes, we want to know film history, it doesn't really. I don't think it will help me get a job. Like, I'm sorry, I'm a no film school type of person. I know it sucks for people that are in film school and that are paying for film school. You know?
I feel the same. I kind of feel like I never really learned that much. You know, like, I feel like I learned more once I started working. Like, I got into the real world and everything was more hands-on, and I was forced to do stuff. Like, now you got to edit here. Here's all the footage. I need you to cut this together into something and, you know, promote it. And yeah, that's why I feel like, and I feel like, you know, I feel like it's more about passion. So passion takes you further, you know, because you can have the background and stuff, but I feel like you also really need to be interested in what you're doing as well.
Yeah,
you know?
and actually actively doing it. I was thinking the other day, like the copywriting aspect of promo directing. I was at a company where I wrote so many scripts, like so many lineups, so many scripts for promos that I feel like that was my boot camp for me to get to where I wrote so much stuff that I got better, you know, just it's like the whole repetition of doing the exact same thing and always trying to improve is way better than like the theory, you know. I mean, it's so nice because like you're like super experienced, you know, and you can see like, because you know the quality of the work that you do, your writing, and it's all because you were doing stuff. You were not just learning about it, you were actively doing it.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, though. That's really nice of you to say.
All good. And yeah, let's get personal. So where did you grow up?
Okay, so I grew up in the south of Johannesburg, Indonesia south, so like deep south. Like
Okay.
we're talking far away.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and then I schooled there. And funny story, like I went to an all Indian school, so I didn't know that other races existed when I was a kid. I'm serious. I didn't know that until I remember, and I used to watch TV, but I knew that, even as a kid, I knew that TV wasn't real. So my mind went as far as thinking that other races weren't real either.
Oh my word.
So like, people that I saw on TV, I was like, oh, they're not real. So in my mind, I just
You were still young.
Yeah,
it's
and
fair.
I mean, I was really small and in school, and everybody I saw was
Mm-hmm.
was Indian. And then I remember I'd seen somebody from a different race for the first time, and I was like, whoa, there's something wrong with this person. It just felt like something was wrong with this person. It's
Oh
weird
my
when you're a
word.
kid, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and then I remember I was in high school, and I schooled out of my area, and it was a multi-racial, multicultural school. And I was like, whoa, oh my goodness. It was like, bam, just like hit with all different races in one go, you know?
Wow, okay.
Yeah, which was, yeah, and yeah, it was different, but it was cool. But it just shows like the mind of a child, you know, when you just like in one setting, how you perceive your world growing up, you know. Yeah, so I'm originally from there, from the South. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Oh, this is like I do this with every guest that I have. I ask them what their top 5 movies are. I don't know if I've ever asked you this. I know we talk about movies a lot, but I need to ask you what your top 5 movies are.
Damn, top 5 is like really narrowing it down.
I know. It's a person,
guys. On the spot as well.
Yes.
Okay, so I have to say the Green Mile. Like Stephen King has to be in here. It's an amazing film. Tom Hanks is in it. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I've cried so many times, and I know what happens. I know what's gonna happen, and every time I watch it, I still cry. You know. I love that movie. That. Perfume.
Oh yes, okay.
Yes.
I remember it, but not very vaguely.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfume, because it's just like it's very dark, but it's also very beautiful at the same time. It's like your typical art house cinema kind of film, but it's like watching that film is like such a visceral experience, like, you know. So I love that film a lot. Fight Club definitely is there.
Oh, yes, that's like that movie changed my life.
Yeah, me too. Like watching that for the first time was just like, this is so amazing. Like, so much of what he says in that film is how you feel as well. The daily. When he, like, trashes, you know, like, what's, like, these advertising companies.
Consumerism.
Yes, buying into that. I've only got 2 more. Jeez.
It's supposed to be tough, yo.
Oh, yeah. Goodness.
Come on, it can't be that hard.
E.T. is definitely, Spielberg has to be there as well. Beetlejuice as well. but then I want to say Ferris Bueller's Day. I'm done. 6 movies.
That is not allowed. That is a first, yeah. But we'll let it slide. I know it's tough to, like, when someone asks me, what's your favorite? I'm like, dude, I don't have a favorite. Like, I have a lot of favorites.
And they're all like different genres, you know. And I guess I like them for different reasons. Like, E.T. for me is just something that's super magical, you know. Like, it was just, I remember seeing it as a kid. I was like, whoa, this is an alien. And I actually thought aliens could exist, and I wanted my dad to buy me one for my birthday. And then my dad was like, you can't have one. They don't exist. And I was like, what? That's, again, the mind of a child, you know. Yeah, and Beetlejuice for me was actually one of the... Have you seen Beetlejuice?
I did, but a very long time ago.
Yeah, that's also a film that I, like, when I saw it when I was younger, for the first time, I was just like, this is amazing. This is so completely left of field, you know? Because it's about... I mean, you know what it's about, right? He's like a...
I don't really remember.
He calls himself like a bio-exorcist. And what he does is like Beetlejuice is hired to like... So like, let's say you die now, right? And you want to be in your house and other people are not living there. And you're like, oh my god, these people are in my space, and you don't know how to get rid of them. He helps you get rid of these people, so that you...
As a ghost?
Yeah.
Oh, snap, okay.
Yeah, it's actually really cool, but it's really funny, and Michael Keaton is Beetlejuice. And he's just like, he's just so great. He's just so great, and like, the weird thing is, like, you watch the performance, and even when I watch it, like, I think the only other person who could pull this off is Jack Nicholson as well, you know, because he's just so crazy. But yeah, so... Got some different genres in there as well for my top 5 favorites.
That's cool. I have like different ones also. Like you can't like one thing.
Yeah, for different reasons, you know. And I mean, I do like Ferris Bueller as well, just because it's such a fun movie. Like, it's just, and the story's so simple, but the way it plays out is just really fun.
But hey, did you name a horror movie though? I know, cause you're into horror.
Yeah.
I guess Beetlejuice would kind of fall into horror-ish.
Yeah, I mean, I guess Stephen King is the horror name that I dropped in.
Yeah. King of horror.
Sure. If I have to say horror, like, I think my favorite horrors would be, like, old school, really old school. Like, The Shining is definitely in there. the original Psycho's in there. What else? I mean, if I think I'd add some more contemporary ones. So, I really like Cabin in the Woods. I think it's great. I think it's really fun.
The shifting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, I like the change. You know, that kind of caught me off guard. You know. Sheesh, I feel like I'm missing like really big horrors. I would say Halloween, but it's also very, it's very slow for people who have not seen it, because I know the new one's gonna it's about to drop.
Yeah.
But I mean it's enjoyable when you watch it again like now. You're like, whoa, these walking shots though, like these long
and never runs.
like these these.
But it's like
scenes.
I feel like it's the original like slasher.
Yeah, it is.
You know,
it is.
It obviously like inspired all these other movies like Scream and obviously all these other shitty ones that came.
When you watch it now, it's like, whoa, these scenes were really drawn out. It's like like you see Jamie Lee Curtis just walking and like talking, and so much of what they're saying is just not like relevant to the film. It's just like casual conversation, you know. But once it gets going in a big way, which is cool. Yeah, and I don't know what else. I feel like I'm really missing big ones here because I'm like on the spot.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Talking about horror movies, like there's something that we speak about a lot. And because it's October, we're doing this 31 Days of Horror thing. Yes. We're sharing, like on our social media, we're sharing all these cool horror movie tips and behind the scenes. Like
I've been seeing that, and it's very cool.
It's cool. I was like, damn, this is good.
You know, it's really crazy. I've been learning so much from the stuff you've been sharing.
Oh wow.
Like, when I see that, and I'm like, oh, I need to tell Lungile. Oh, he posted this.
Oh, okay. I know it's it.
Yeah, okay. It's cool. No, it's cool. I actually learned so much, and it's so cool because sometimes I read it and I'm like, that's so cool. I never knew that.
There's a lot of cool fun facts. So what was I gonna say? I really like, obviously, actually you got me into horror movies like for days. Like now I'm just like, I can't get enough. I'm always like, oh man, when is the next one dropping? Like on Netflix, I watch all the not all, but maybe all the good ones.
Yeah, I mean.
And then like I just like my craving for watching them like hasn't stopped. I mean, I've always liked dark stuff, you know, like True Detective, like Seven, but I always like was running away from horror. But now I appreciate horror movies more. You know, and I feel like there's a special place in the world for them, and they because. Like, I was telling someone that I had, my girlfriend, we have like, let's say I wake up in the morning and I put on a horror movie on a Sunday.
You wake up in the morning and put on a horror movie?
That's what I do. That's what I do.
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, oh no, this is too dark. Can we watch something like light? And I'm just like, no, dude, like, this is exciting for me.
Yeah, it's an adrenaline rush. That's
how I feel, like you get excited.
Yeah,
you know, and you squirm. You're like, oh my god. Sometimes like the tension is like, and then now like I can't not watch something that doesn't have that much tension. I have to like, I need to watch a horror movie. And obviously, if it blows me away, it's like even better.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm not trying to be deep, but like I was like, do you think we really need horror movies? Do you think they're important?
I think, you know what?
More than just like the entertainment value.
I think, to be honest, I feel like it's an overlooked genre a lot of the time because people, like over the years, it has, you know, I feel like before, the old horror movies were seen as like an art form because they were so well crafted in terms of tension and they were very story based. I think over the years, that genre has become somewhat cheapened. Because
slasher,
you know,
slasher
because they rely so much on jump scares rather than having a story. You know, it's just like how much can we scare our audiences all the time, and I mean, audiences do fall for it because they enjoy the thrill, but at the same time they don't take them seriously as well. You know, and I feel like. Horror is not easy to do, man, and people forget that. You know, it takes a lot to craft tension in a scene and make people feel scared. you know. And again, it's like something we've discussed before, like what scares a person.
It's a lot of like things that
It's
have
subjective.
to like work together to like.
It's like there's so many
Yeah.
things. So like things that could scare somebody, it could be rooted in their childhood, like what scared them, you know, and that's they've taken it into adulthood, and that's what scares them now. So it's like I know when I grew up, so many kids my age were terrified of clowns, and I missed the whole It thing at that point. The Tim Curry version, I missed that. And my friends were like terrified of clowns, and I was not as a kid like terrified of clowns. I'm not terrified of clowns now either.
Good to know. Good to know.
But even then, I was not terrified of clowns as a kid. But my friends were like, oh, you know, you'd be terrified of clowns too.
I never understood that when I saw that in movies.
Yeah. And it's like Freddy Kruger. So many people were like terrified of Freddy Kruger growing up as well. I mean, if you watch Nightmare on Elm Street, it's actually he's not really terrifying. I don't know how to explain. He's like more about tricks and like he's very over the top. That's what Freddy Krueger is, you know. But he's not like Michael Myers. Michael Myers is a lot more.
He's terrifying.
You know what I mean?
Oh my God, he's freaking terrifying.
He's not vocal and he's not funny. Whereas Freddy Krueger's got all those. Like you know, he's sort of funny and that kind of thing. And Michael Myers is just like he just stands there.
Yeah, it's like
he just stands. Everywhere he goes, he just stands there.
And like the blank face of the mask, it just does. Because you don't. It's like you can't even see his eyes, and it's like, shit. This is some serious shit. And it's so weird. I don't know. Have they ever showed his face before?
No, hey. I haven't seen his face.
That's
I feel like the mask has come off, but I don't think we've seen his face revealed. Like, not that I can remember in any of the Halloweens. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like,
yeah, it is. He's just like this mysterious guy.
I'm a big fan of Halloween. Man, the story just like I hadn't, like I said, I wasn't into horror movies until you got me into them, and then I started going backwards. I started googling like best horror movies of all time, and I tried to like watch them to see like you know, because obviously now I had ran out of stuff to watch, and I was like going back in time. When I saw the story, I was like, oh my God. Dude killed his parents and now he's trying to finish his sister off. The idea is so simple, but it's so like, oh my word.
It is.
It's twisted as fuck.
It's
not like, oh, there's a ghost trying to kill me because I'm in their house. It's like it's even more because it's like shit.
He's a real threat. That's
and it's like it's like so possible, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like a far-fetched thing.
But I mean, to address that question that you asked me, I do definitely think there's a place for horrors. I say that because I feel like it's very strange in the sense that I think people enjoy seeing things that they fear, you know, and how other people go through them. There's the sense of like you watching it and at the same time you're rooting for people to survive whatever this threat is. Yeah. And that's what it is about. It's ultimately survival as well, watching these things. Like, will this person...
It's also a form of therapy. Like I read something, it's like, if you're... I mean, I don't know if it works, but like, if I was scared of clowns and I watched a movie about scary clowns, I would be scared watching it. But then because I'd go through the emotions without actually going through it, like, in reality, it's like, I would have experienced all that anxiety. Maybe I can get over it. I don't know if it works, but like, it's like a form... Like, because I noticed like most of them are dealing with trauma. Like trauma is like key. Like if you don't have a trauma or someone who's haunted by something, it's not as strong, you know. Like an example is Oculus. Oculus is like a great horror movie. And like the fact that the brother and the sister, they're like, you know, they had a bad past and they can't get over it, and it's like so interesting to see because it's actually, I feel like sometimes it's also a drama. Yes. Because it's like, it's not, I mean, those are not the fluffy ones. Oh, we're teens, we're going to a cabin and we're all gonna get killed. That's like, it's fluff, man.
Yeah, and I mean, they did that in Friday the 13th and it worked because it was the first of its kind when they did it. But then it became like a trope. Yeah. Like, let's get all these teens all the time, you know, and create a horror. Like, something's going to go down, you know, every time.
And we've seen so many of them. And like any other movie, when you already know what's going to happen, it's like, oh. should I really keep watching? Because I
Yeah.
know the black dude's gonna die first.
Yeah.
Who that couple that has sex are gonna die or whatever. It's actually part of those facts. I was like, oh shit, this is true.
Yeah,
you know?
it is so true. But I agree on Oculus. And Mike Flanagan worked on that, and he worked on Before I Wake, which was amazing as well.
Also
And
trauma.
that's what I was going to say as
Yeah.
well. That's also trauma because she's dealing with a child. She lost her child. And that was also done really well. And I think, yeah, and when I see horrors like that, it makes me happy because I'm like, there's somebody who's actually putting thought into this, you know? It's not just creating jump scares, which is The Nun, which I saw recently, which is so terrible. It's awful. And it was so disappointing because it's a part of the Conjuring universe. And the Conjuring is amazing. I love the Conjuring.
The first one was
It was so rooted in story, and it was compelling for a horror. Like, you know, you were so moved by what was happening. You're like, oh my god, this is actually kind of sad. You know, that's how I felt watching it. And then The Nun is just the complete opposite. It was just like, you can just tell it was just like, you know, here's money, make a horror.
Oh,
this
man.
is like, you know, it's a part of the Conjuring universe, and yeah, we just want to sell this. And if people are going to buy into it because the Conjuring, you know? And that's what it felt like.
Though. That's so sad.
And that's what it felt like. And it's so funny. So, you know that Screen Rant where, like, that pitch meeting?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I saw the one for The Nun, and it was just like, yeah, it was just like, you can expect all kinds of nuns in this. Frozen nuns.
Okay, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but you need to, well, I don't know if you even need to watch it, to be honest. It's terrible. I was just like, it was such a waste of time, to be honest. Yeah, it was disappointing. But yeah, I think horror is definitely a genre that's taken for granted, and in the right hands, it can be done really well. Like, I really enjoyed it as well. The recent one that came out, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was like Stranger Things, but also
it surprised me. I was like, I didn't, because I saw kids. I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. But then I was like, whoa, this is like deep. Like, it just like, you know, when something like supersedes your expectations. Like, okay, I see what he did there.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. That was also one of my favorite films that came out last year, and this year will be a toss up between The Ritual, definitely, on Netflix.
Oh yes.
I loved The Ritual.
Was good.
That was like so well done. Like some of those scenes, like how they integrated some of the scenes with like what had happened. You know,
also,
like how,
again, the whole trauma thing. You know, it's like it makes it so much stronger than just like, oh, we're going camping and then we just start dying. But the story just holds the whole film together. You know, it's crazy, but like that's what I mean, maybe I'm over analyzing, but like that's what I love about them. As much as I want to get scared and have the thrill, I feel so much better when there's like more layers.
I agree.
Yeah.
And that one also, like, so it had trauma, but it also dealt with folklore, which I find very interesting in horror as well, which was also the Babadook. I don't know if you watched that.
Oh, you know what? I have it, but I haven't watched it yet.
You need to watch that. It's actually very good as well. It's also about, because Babadook, I think, he's in German folklore, if I'm not mistaken. But it's also like Krampus, actually. I don't know if you've seen Krampus as well. That's another horror as well.
I need to catch up.
Krampus is like, he's like the bad Santa Claus, pretty much. That's what he is.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, yeah. It's actually on Netflix. You should watch it. It's actually
Krampus.
it's actually really fun.
Oh, okay.
It's really fun, but you must
Krampus
watch the
with a
recent
K.
one. Yeah. But it's
Okay.
actually, I think they added the recent one.
Okay.
You just check. Not the old one, the recent one that I watched. It's actually quite fun. But I enjoy folklore a lot as well in horror because I feel like it adds another dimension to it. You know? Like, oh, that's interesting. That's what I enjoyed about The Ritual.
Yeah.
So for me, The Ritual definitely is one of my favorite movies this year, and Hereditary definitely as well.
That was good.
Yeah.
I didn't see that coming. I was like, no. Because, to be honest, like, that movie is just like all these other horror movies. But it was just done differently. It was like you took the exact same thing that, I don't want to drop any spoilers, but like when at the end, I was like, oh man, I knew, like I've seen this before, but not like this. Like it was well done.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, there were like some of your typical horror tropes in it, definitely. Like you can point out to so many
but
of them.
It wasn't obvious. That's what I love about it. It's only like later, I was like, shit.
Yeah.
Damn, whoever did this like really took their time and crafted the whole
I love
film.
the sound design as well. It was also very unexpected. It wasn't like your typical, you know, stab in the music when something happened, which I really liked as well. Yeah, so for me, those are the kinds of horrors that I enjoy as well. The ones that are more psychological because they feel real.
Mhm.
Like when, and Toni Collette's performance in that film was just like, it felt so real.
Again, the whole trauma thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's so weird. You know what I realized? We can explore trauma in like dramas and stuff, but it's usually like, it's not the hardcore stuff. Like, this is a really shitty story. It's really it's hardcore. Okay, so a friend of mine told me that his friend woke up next to, I'm getting really dark now, to his girlfriend, and their girlfriend had passed away, right?
Oh, hectic. What?
So like,
This is like Breaking Bad.
yeah, like it's
Oh my god!
I know, but and
Crap.
things like that happen, but we never talk about these things. We never talk about how to like overcome them.
Yeah, how to deal with them.
Like
how to work past it.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, like
It's so true, eh?
and those type of things, like taking him and the character of him trying to get over it. Like the only way it would be explored is through a horror movie because it's like such a hardcore subject matter. But normally people don't want to talk about these things, and just like as when you talk about things, you gain more knowledge. When you watch certain stories, you gain more knowledge. So that's why I feel like it's a stupid thing. It's like a shitty thing to say, but like horror movies are also educational in a way because you get to go through stuff that you haven't been through, so that like when something does happen, you kind of know how to move forward.
Yeah.
Because it's really hardcore stuff. Like it's trauma at the middle of it is like the worst thing that you could ever think of that would happen to a person, and how do you come back from that? And that's what
I think that's what the main theme of all horror films is, and why I think they're so relevant, is just overcoming stuff. Overcoming fears in whatever form they may appear.
Yeah.
Which is cool, and as I guess when you're a director, you can choose what the fear is. The physical, as it's something that you can't see. Yeah, and it's just how you craft a story. I just wish that most of them had like really good stories to them. It's so rare. I feel like we get them once every few years. One that will really send you mind, but I think the new Halloween is going to be great. Apparently, it's been getting great
I
reviews.
hope so.
I've been hearing really good things.
I've actually been dreaming about that movie. I've been
God.
dreaming about it because I saw it everywhere, and I was like, "Please, Blumhouse, don't disappoint me. Please, please, please. Can I just, And it's good that we're going to watch that movie next week. So.
Yeah. Oh crap! Is it next week?
Yeah, it's like when
It's
is
like
the
13th.
Yeah, because I think it's the 4th today. Yeah. So like next week Saturday. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, me too. And Jamie Lee's in it, so I'm even more excited because I think it's really going to be good. Yeah.
I wonder if they'll restart the whole franchise. I don't know if it'll be a good or a bad thing, but I trust Blumhouse with everything. Like everything horror. Like I feel like they are just like killing it, and they know what they're doing. Even like what's that movie I was telling you about? Truth or Dare. It was really nice. It was a nice movie. I thought it was fun.
I saw Rocky give it a really crappy review, but I was like, it was fun. It was like a popcorn movie.
Yeah, and it was good.
I thought it was done really well considering what the concept was.
There's even one they did. It's called Unfriended. Have you ever seen that?
No, I haven't seen that.
This whole movie is a movie about people on a Skype conversation. All you're looking at is a screen with like 5 people, and they just keep dying. And it's engaged, like it's really exciting. I never thought you could watch a 90-minute movie of like a screen with 5 people reacting to different scary things. But it's like really good.
And it's engaging the whole way through.
I promise you, it's like
Really?
it's like man, it's like if you ever pitch that story to like to anyone, they'd be like, oh come on, that's not a movie. But then when you watch that, you're just like, what the hell? These guys know what they're doing.
I think the same about Sharkanado. Oh, that's not a movie.
Well, I mean, it's a different genre.
Yeah.
It's good for what it is. Like, I think like whoever has the balls to do that, kudos to you.
Yeah, and to actually like
actually make money.
Yeah.
It's unheard of, and I don't want to make movies like that. okay, maybe I want to make one movie.
Just
like
make
that.
sure your films are graded properly, though. From,
Yeah.
Like, shot to shot. Because
Yeah.
Sharkanado was not.
Yeah. I have to do that. But yeah, that's like, it's extreme, like left of field stuff, you know. But I guess there's a market for that also. There are people that like watching those type of movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough about horror movies. So, more for the audience now. Like, tell me what is a typical day for you as a promo director.
Okay. So,
But also try to explain it like in layman's terms. Let's say if I'm in high school, like so that I can understand.
sorry, I just need to stop for a second because I realized my phone might just go off. I have an alarm set.
Oh, it's
it's like set
okay.
every day at the same time. So can I just like, I don't want it to like start going off while we're talking.
Oh, good, okay.
And then you're like, oh my god, sorry, let me just
It's
do
all
that now.
good.
Oh my god.
And we're back from the ad break, snack break.
We're back.
Yes. So I was asking, like, so what's a typical day? Oh wait, no, not what a typical day is, but how? Oh wait, yes. It was asking what a typical day is for you as a promo director.
Yeah, so I am in charge of a team of editors, and basically my job entails me getting a brief from production, and I have to make this shit happen pretty much. So let's say you get a brief for, I'm not going to name channels, but you know, for a certain channel, and then you have, you know, this is what we're going to be showing this month. These are our highlights. We have these 4 action movies, and then I have to find a way or find a concept that ties all these films together so that we can promote it and audiences actually tune into watching these films on the channel, you know. So you know, it's actually about also increasing viewership for these channels. That's basically what it is. But it's also about making shit look cool all the time, which is also literally our jobs are taking.
Every time you make a promo for a show, it has to seem like it's the greatest show in the world.
Yeah,
That's just like standard, you know.
I mean, we know, because basically what it is like how you get trailers for movies. We do that for TV. So we take all the good bits and we make things look better, and then when people tune in, they're like, oh my god, it's terrible. You know, and we all, that's what an editor is, you know. It's making people buy into something, you know, like, oh my god, this, like, Jason Statham is in this really awesome movie. I want to watch it. It looks cool. He's in slow-mo in this promo. I want to watch this movie. Actually, this movie is really bad. And I mean, 9 out of 10 times, that's what I feel. I'm like, wow, that's a cool shot. Wow, this movie's really bad. And that's what it is. I always say that our jobs, promo producers, okay, so I mean, obviously I do a lot more than editor. But as an editor, you are ideally a manipulator, you know? You can manipulate content to make people feel certain emotions, you know? You're creating a mood overall.
I like to say that the directing part of the promo directing, you know, because we are trying to make people feel a certain way. We might not be doing for like a long movie, but for 30 seconds, you know? Like, for instance, when you watch a trailer, like, there are trailers that are mind-blowing. Like, I watch trailers in my space because I just want to, like, damn, how do they keep upping the ante and making me so excited all the time? You know, every time there's a new movie, I'm like, oh my god, this trailer looks amazing. The movie might not be good, but like, sometimes I admire the trailer. I'm like, yo, like, this really got me, like, I want to watch that. And that's pretty much what we do. We want people to feel like, yo, I need to tune in.
That's all we need to do, is just to get, like, our job is literally to get people to want to watch whatever it is that we're promoting, you know? So it's the concept phase, and then once I've got my idea locked down, then I script it. It has to be approved or not approved. And then it goes into editing. And that's where the crafting and the bulk of the work happens, is you shaping what you've just seen and making your concept come to life, you know. And it's tricky. I mean, you know, it's tricky. It's tricky, especially when you have like a bomb idea and you're like, oh now I have to actually execute this
Actually
bomb
do it.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also takes a lot of patience because, like, I came from a promo director background, so I wasn't editing. And when I started editing, I was like, oh my word, I have to build this shot by shot.
So wait, did you just script?
I was scripting.
Oh,
Yeah.
So you just like doing copywriting?
Yeah,
Okay.
and just like, because we had editors at studios where you just brief all of them.
Yes.
You know, you brief the designers, the animators, but you had so many projects. You always had like 5 projects running at the same time. And you were always trying to like make sure they all work.
Yeah.
You deliver on time. You picking it was crazy. You know, it was really crazy. But then when I started editing, I was like, because like I would always like leave them with the footage and just like come back 2 days later and like, hey, show me what you did. You know. And so when I started doing it, I was like, oh my god, I have to build this shot by shot. Like that's one thing. That's the first thing I thought about, and I was like, I need to learn to be patient because like I thought like, oh, you know, you just like whip it up, but you have to go through the entire movie.
Yeah, that's what people don't realize.
And get the best shots because there's like 100 best cool shots, but you need to take the best ones because you can only put like 5 or 4 of them, and it's also interesting that like when you're editing, you know, all your shots need to like work together. You know, they need to flow.
Yeah,
you know,
that's so true. There has to be like this synergy.
A story basically. You know, like for instance, a bad example, you would start with the sun setting, and then you'd see like a chicken, and then you see someone waking up.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's like you have your establishing shot and like your setting, and then you like go into this person's life or something.
So it's interesting, but it's hectic.
Yeah, it is. I mean, a lot of people, I feel like editing is I feel a lot of people don't know about editing, and there's not enough credit for editors. I feel like everybody always asks like, who won best director? But
it's like you don't know who actually, you know,
who won best editor, you know, because that's where the whole story came in. They did the bulk of the work. You know, they shaped this into a story, like all this raw footage, you
and
know?
the sound.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So that's the thing, and I feel like it's such a tedious process, and so many people don't know that. But it's also very rewarding, you know, because to see something that was just raw footage, and now it's this thing. It's this like actual thing, you know. Is that for me is so super rewarding, or especially like when you've got this really cool concept and it seemed impossible to execute, and then you get past it and you execute it, and client really likes it, and you're like, whoa, it's really cool that I got to do this amazing thing and that it worked out. There's like the sense of fulfillment that I feel. And I always see whatever I edit as a reflection of me.
Yes,
you know, that's the thing, and what I'm capable of doing, and I like pushing that constantly.
It's also very personal.
It
like,
is.
It's really personal.
It
It's like we're painters, and you're always trying to make like something cool that is like striking, and then when it's not cool, you feel like, oh,